Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I see we have some people here already. I'm Redneck Johnny. Hello David, I see your messages here, and nice to see you finally be able to join the chat. So thanks for tuning in live, and thanks for using the chat. So I'm just gonna read your message. Like I am excited to finally join the stream. We talked on Reddit quite extensively about the formulas used to invest. Thanks for all your help. No problem, no worries, David. I'm happy to see you here, and I hope you can join in and ask some questions if there's something that you wonder about or anything like that. I will try to answer as best as I can, and if I can't answer it, Dane will join me on the weekend, and maybe we can talk about it also with Dane if he can how do you say it, like join in and try to help answering some questions. Where are you from, David? Just curious to see where people are from here. And I see we have some watchers here today, so cool that everyone is tuning in here. It's been a little bit of a crazy week, right? So far. Yesterday was very red, it was bleeding. You should see my dashboard sheet yesterday. Was all red, and today it's a little bit of a mix. But I think in general the market bounced back pretty well. At least the tickers I'm involved in came back almost the same as they dropped yesterday. So that was good to see for me, for my portfolio. I haven't taken any new positions. I still have my cash position. I'm lurking. I'm waiting for the right opportunity, and I'm starting to think like I'm gonna wait till the right opportunity presents itself for me that I think I'm comfortable jumping into a position. But I'm not gonna wait like forever. I need to put the money into play and test everything out, you know. So I'm gonna do it, but I'm going through some tickers today that I'm very curious about, that I'm paying a lot of attention to. Some are familiar names and some are new, and I just want to go through them and see how it goes. But to start with, I want to go through some of the tickers that we have been discussing on some of the last streams here. So David, you're from Florida. Nice. How's the weather down there? You live like in the opposite climate than me, but it's also summer here, I guess, so it's warm here where I live right now. But cool to have people from Florida in. Dane and I have been joking that we should move, you know, south in USA if this works out. But yeah, I've always been actually, if I wanted to, since I was a kid, I always wanted to travel to either Florida or California, or of course New York as well in USA, like the traditional places, I guess. But I've never been to the US, so it's on my list. Both rainy and hot. Okay, nice. And any alligators? I'm scared of the alligators, you know. And by the way, as a kid, I grew up with NHL ice hockey, and my favorite team was Florida Panthers, just simply because of the cool logo they had. And I know they have switched the logo, so just a little bit of fun, huh? Yeah, let's start with Alto. Then Alto was up to 2.5%, almost 154 now. It seems to hold up like 150 pretty well. You know, my last purchase was at 130, so I'm up. How much is that? Like 18% since then. And we're still waiting on the quarterly report here, but today I'm gonna show you some new comments here. This is not on Justin's article, but it's on this newest article that you can find on Seeking Alpha. There was a guy, hold on. There was a guy talking about this guy SV11. He's saying Eric Fisher of Valero on today's earnings call, and Valero is a similar company, you know. Sure, on the ethanol side, this increased margin is really a result of cheap natural gas prices as well as cheap corn. If you look at all of the carry-out numbers for this year, with Brazil having a record crop, the US having a record crop forecasted, the carry-out is going to be pretty large. That means we're still carrying a fairly large inventory of corn from last year. The harvest that's coming up is going to be another large inventory. So I see corn fairly cheap, barring weather event between now and harvest or something dramatic in Brazil. So I think I'm positive on the ethanol outlook for the rest of this year and into next year. After that, it's always harvest to harvest of what the next outlook will look like after that. And then Justin is just replying like, yeah, Alto just lowered July basis 5 cents today. Crush margin has been 40 to 50 cents for the entirety of July. With the biennial shutdown in April complete, the peaking plants will be operating fantastically for the next 12 plus months. This I love to hear it, you know. And that's also a little bit what we have talked about here, right? They have set them. You can be as negative as you want, but you can also, if they need to deliver, there's no question about it. But what they have said also is that they have spent a lot of money now to upgrade the plants and put themselves in a position where if it works out, they should deliver fantastic results, like Justin are saying here, for quite some time, you know. Q3 results, barring any fire, should be outstanding, especially if Magic Valley is fully up and running with the Co-Pro Max system fully installed. Furthermore, 2 major biorefineries in California are ramping up to 50,000 BPD per GPRE's last earnings call. Just one of these facilities would consume the entirety of all US corn oil production. With the tax credits on biodiesel expiring in December, corn oil prices will likely explode in 2025. So in Alto, you know, there's always been this, like, you have something in the future which is not so distant to look forward to. And that's correct. And it's a criticism, like the management always like pointing to something that's going to happen in the future. So I hope, like, at some point we need to see some results, and that's what we have talked about for a long time now. But for my thesis, it has always been like 24 to 26. That is the period where things will happen. So we are there right now, and the next call will be very interesting. And I just hope they will deliver on either carbon sequestration program, and hopefully a deal with Volt will materialize soon. More talks about selling the Western plants, or just kill it with good numbers, you know. That's what we need. So this guy, I just checked now before I went on, so these are new comments. This guy saying, yes, Q3 could be very good, but what about upcoming Q2? And then Justin has replied here now just recently. Well, they already guided a 4 million hit in extra costs from the biennial peak in maintenance. Magic Valley wasn't supposed to be up and running until the end of Q2, and there was likely some cost to get that ramped up. You think those things are substantially already priced into current stock price? So I'm more focused on Q3 guidance and any comments surrounding the Core Pro Max results with full installation, as well as hearing if there has been any progress selling assets. So he's saying a little bit same as I was just saying, but also just in maybe take the expectations down a little bit on this Q2 report and look for the Q3 report instead, and it's like that's where things are going to materialize. So let's hope. We just need to see. I don't think the price will go down so much further, even if the market doesn't really like the Q2 report. But who knows? We are pretty low already, and this company it's not going bankrupt. But exciting to see, and Justin is a bit more like, yeah, he wants to hear like some development on you know, one of the 3 things that we are waiting for here. Just wanted to update on that. I saw some new comments here. And then we can move into Mastercraft. Mastercraft dropped like 5% yesterday, and today they are up 8 again, so bounced straight back. And I didn't really understand why they dropped. I think it was like more the macro environment yesterday. There was no reason for it to drop 5%, I think. And as you can see, it's already up. I'm a bit like not surprised, but I'm just paying attention if Coliseum has added more. They have not. Their last purchase was 1949, so they are up on the 2 last purchases. They are up on. I got in my last purchase was around $18. I'm very happy with that entry or that purchase, and I'm just gonna hold Mastercraft till it develops a bit further. This might take some time though, and my price target is like between 30 to 35 on this. So just paying attention to Open Insider, you know, to see if they go in with more money here, and then just a few companies that I've been talking about lately. AMRK, they are a bit down today. Still a bit expensive for me. I want to get in on a lower level than this, so I'm waiting for them to drop a little bit more. Sportsman up another 8, almost 8%. I'm not sure if I'm too late here, but I think I am. I think this is a play for me that I was a little bit too late on. But Farmer Bros, they are down again 3% today, and I just checked the chart before I went on the stream, and I think it can drop more actually. I'm a bit worried that it can drop more, but for myself, I want it to drop more because I want to get in again. Around 250, maybe that's too greedy to ask for 250 here, but I think this can drop a little bit more before it turns around again. So I'm just waiting a little bit and tracking it every day to see the price. So yeah, that's it for the companies that we have already followed. And I pulled up. I saw the dashboard. I just showed it real quick. It's a mix of things. Some things are. Some things are up and some things are down, and I don't know what's going on here. Like I get this message in from my golfing. It's so weird, right? I have not done any changes, and then just you get a adder in the sheets. But I have to fix that. Nothing really catching my eye is shipping here. Transocean up 10% today. That's huge though. But and you know, Tesla missed on the earnings. It's earnings season now, so you have a lot of earnings, and so in the movers there's a lot of drops on negative earnings reports. So there was a lot of movement in the daily movers today. And I kind of my thinking about the earnings season or when the earnings reports are coming out is to let things settle a bit before I jump in, unless there's like a company that I'm really that I have a good knowledge of, that I think like, oh, this creates a big opportunity, I need to jump in straight away. But with other companies that I don't know so well, I want them to settle down a bit and see where it goes before I jump in. But you have to track things very closely now, because I saw on some of the charts you had a lot of big drops. So see, like the gold and silver miners are a bit down. Silver is down, gold is down today. But I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time here. I'm gonna jump into the fundamentals because I have a few tickers today, and you see PBF here, for example. We talked about them on the weekend. I'm just gonna put them up if we have time, just to, you know. PBF is very interesting if it keeps dropping a bit. Today was an up day for it, but we can go through them later. So SIGI, based in New Jersey, selective insurance. So they provides insurance products and services in the United States. It operates through 4 segments: standard commercial lines, standard personal lines, E&S lines, and investments. Company offers property insurance. The insurance company, not exactly what I'm used to deal in, but it's a bit different to like what I usually read in the numbers here. So I need to be a bit careful. But what I did like here a little bit, you know, was how the chart looked like right now. You see, I had this massive drop here, but it's up again since then, and as you can see, it's on our earnings, so it's up again since then. And this is a ticker I found like earlier this week, so I might be a bit late already into here. But hold on. But it does look a little bit good on some of the technical stuff that we are looking at. I'm not 100% sure how to read numbers on insurance companies. That's a new thing for me. So I'm not sure if I should spend so much time on them today. Because I don't want to say anything that is, you know, very stupid or very wrong. I mean, something more that is very stupid or very wrong. So I'm going to leave them. Let's go to CTRN straight away here. So first thing that catches my eye in CTRN, it's these big inside buys in the last year here. Look at them; they are big buys from the CEO and also from this fund one investment. I think the story there is that they have the right to purchase up to 30% of the company or something like that. In some deal that they have made. I read a little bit about it before the stream. So they are obviously interested to, you know, they have bought a lot of shares here. And the float is pretty, you know, 8 million outstanding shares. It's not a lot. They have 51 in excess cash, 45 in near-term debt, a little bit more there, so that my sheet is issuing a little bit of shares here. You can see this last year here has been pretty bad, which is what has created the opportunity. You know, margins are still down here, and the cost is actually almost the same or a little bit up even. So, and heavy short interest, 20% short interest here. I'm not like, these numbers are not fantastic, but also it trades where it does for a reason. And if they can start to improve the business a little bit and get back to the numbers they had, for example, last year, the share price will go up by a lot. I think it's 2% now, close to the 52-week lows. So so that's something to keep in mind here. I talked with Dane about them, and I think Dane has a position in them. I'm not sure about that. They do look good on some of the technical things that we look at now, but I'm gonna wait a little bit more and see where it goes, because I think this has the potential to even drop a little bit more in the near term. If it goes closer to like around 18, which means it's a new like 18, 10, 11, that would be a new 52 low for them. But that would be a bit more interesting to me. But I also have to check then, you know, the high short interest is probably there for a reason. And if you look at the numbers, it's not very impressive right now. But let's see what people are writing about them. This article is from June, so pretty recent. Mixed Q1 results with slight revenue growth and improved gross margins, but still generates operating and net losses. Recent corporate developments include a shareholder agreement with 22% shareholder and the introduction of a new CEO. So this shareholder, I assume that's Fund 1 that we saw here, right? This one. We can check on Whale Wisdom straight away. They own close to 30% now, and they have had it recently, right? And it's their 6th biggest position in their holdings. Out of how many? How many they have? 66. So that's meaningful, though. This is a big fund, so they have it here as the 6th largest holding. And a new CEO, and I assume they have a role to play then, maybe in getting in a new CEO or something. Here, in CTRN announced a shareholder agreement with Fund 1 Investment. The fund was allowed to nominate 3 of the 9 directors proposed by the board for the general meeting on June 20th. Fund 1 has 22% of the company's shares, then they have bought even more since then, and is allowed to buy up 30% of the shares without triggering a poison pill. So you saw that in Whale Wisdom now, they were straight on the 30, like 29%. The last date was after this article, so they bought more after this article. This means the company will have a board with members nominated by large shareholder in June. CTRN lacked this feature in the past. I believe having a large shareholder with a stake in the company, key governance roles, is important for the company's long-term development. So there's a new CEO. Yeah, so there's still question marks about who the new CEO will be, and if Fund One Investment has something to do with that. He has a hold rating on them, and it's just a bit on insecurity. Insecurities about a new CEO, new board in place, and the business model, company's model being fundamentally challenged is also high. So it needs a transformation, it seems like, according to this article. So that's, I guess, why it has a hold rating. And what's the depth here? So majority of the debt is leases. So I'm they have a revolver, but the rest, or a big portion of the debt, is leases. So that takes some risk away here. Even though it shows up at 230 million in debt, that number, a lot of them is leases. So the revolver has a maturity date in 26, so they have room and time for that too. So I'm not worried about the debt. And then if you like the story here, that there's a big fund buying up to 30% of it and have some influence on the board, and maybe a new CEO and stuff like that, you might see this turnaround. It's a turnaround story in the making here. And it does trade long, 2% to the 52-week low. But like I started out with saying, I think it can drop even more, and I'm just gonna wait for it. And I might miss out here. I think there's a chance also that it doesn't continue to grow. I mean drop. That it has kind of found a floor here, because you know it's very close to the 52-week low, which it has actually been a few times. You look at here, look, it's almost identical to this candle right here, right? So has dropped a little bit lower in the past. And you know, this chart looks a bit ugly from here, like from March this year. It has dropped a lot, and it's in a downtrend right now. And volume is going also a little bit down. You can see it here, but and then that's the thing also. Like there's it's a little bit time till low, but there's a earnings report coming in 22nd of August. I think this can drop a little bit more, and maybe will then creep up a little bit again towards the earnings. And who knows what I haven't dived deep enough now to say anything about what I expect for earnings and stuff like that. But I kind of like the story here. I like that they have actually bought up 30% of the company, which according to the article they were allowed to do that without triggering a poison pill. So they've done that. And it, you know, the company's right now trading exactly almost at book value, tangible book value as well. If you take away 180 million from this number in leases, the debt is nothing to worry too much about. They have 51 on books, but they need to look at this margin development. That doesn't look good, but that's what I mean. If you believe in Fund 1 and the influence they have on the board and new CEO and stuff like that, maybe this will turn around and they will do the right things. And one thing I will also mention is that this interim CEO is purchasing a lot of shares. Look at this, is bought for almost 10 million in July alone. So that's meaningful. I'm adding them to my tracker sheet. I would put 18 blank. I have some conditional formatting that will trigger if the price hit a certain percentage towards the price I put in here. So it would alert me with a conditional format, like a color in the sheet. I'm putting medium because there's a few on certain things here. It's not so meaningful what I put there. Sorry, I'm going silent. I'm just writing down basically what I have talked about. Just as notes to myself, so I quickly remember it when I revisit them. And so far I'm saying, like, the fundamentals are not the best in the past here, but they have been decent in the past. And there's a potential turnaround story here when the interim CEO has bought many shares for almost $10 million, and Fund 1 has bought up 30% of the company, which they are allowed to without the poison pill. Not worry about the debt. Most of it are leases. And margins have decreased in the last 2 years, so they need to work on that, you know. But that's where the new CEO on board and all that comes into play. So that's kind of the story here. Chart is looking good, but also tells that it can potentially drop a little bit more. I'm just saying, like, pay attention to the new CEO and insider purchases. So that's just my notes. I'm gonna add it to my tracker. There it is. Look at the amount of insiders the last 3 months. 17 purchases the last 3 months. That's a lot. All right, good stuff. Let's move to the next one. It's a familiar ticker, EAF, GraphTech. We have talked about them on multiple streams in the past. I just like... there's a lot of stuff that I like here, but also I'm a little bit careful. 12% down today. There's an earning preview, which I guess doesn't look too good. But that's why I was saying I've been a bit careful with them, because it does look a little bit negative in GraphTech. If you look at this, it's pretty heavy, the downtrend, for a long period of time as well. This was in January in 2023. It was trading almost at $7. Now it's below $1, you know, and it keeps on dropping. Look at this. The earnings report is coming tomorrow, and they had a preview there. Then it dropped, came back up a little bit, but I'm guessing that this can continue to drop, and I'm just a little bit if this drops heavily in, like, over the weekend or something like that, even more than now, you know, 11% is a lot, but this can continue. And look at the short interest too, like 10%, 10.5%. And now it trades at 85 cents, and then the metric, like the numbers here, starts to look a little bit good, you know. Still above book value, but this is a industrial electrical equipment and parts company. And I read last time that you know, they are struggling with the business. Don't get it wrong. It's a reason they are trading that low. But they have got their costs down a little bit. And they have cash, 159 million. They are levered though. Look at the sheet, issue a lot of shares. So that's why you see a lot of these numbers are diluted quite heavily as well. But even you know, even with that, they are positive in operating cash flow and free cash flow. And let's say this continue to drop towards, you know, 60 cents or something, then these starts to look very attractive. But then also it's risky, because it can actually, you know, they struggle when they are below $1, but the market cap is still 220 million. It's still somewhat big company in total, you know, even though this is small compared to other companies. But in terms of what we are looking for, like 200 million, it's not the worst market cap you can have. revenue is down heavy, and this is why you see it has gone down over time. So I guess it's traded like reasonably where it is now, but that's what I'm saying. Like if it gets a few of these heavy drops, you know, it starts to look very interesting for me. Scheduled to announce Q2 earnings results on Friday before market open, so it's very soon then. Nothing really on this article, but we can check some of the comments. Yeah, it just seems like they are in a rough spot, you know, but that doesn't mean that
just seems like
I'm going to shy away from this if it potentially drop even further, because I do like the numbers if it drops a little bit more, but then it's more like you need to be careful if you believe it will go to, you know, if it will go actually bankrupt or not, or if they can start to make money and turn things around. And I saw there was some comments there about some activist investor putting pressure on the board and stuff like that. So we can check the owners real quick. Some activist investor. Yeah, I'm seeing some familiar names, but nothing too noteworthy, I think. I just wanted to pull them up on the stream too. I have them in tracker, so I'm very familiar with the EAF. I've been tracking them since a long time, I think. Since, yeah, a year ago, a little bit more than a year. And how much it has fell since then? Almost 90 or 85%. So, and I was way off with my good enterprise. But you know, like I've said 100 times before, and a lot of things can happen in a year also. But this is just like estimates. Like I'm not weighing the good price entry column here too much. It's just more to catch my eye if it does drop. But yeah, I think I will have to see after tomorrow if it comes with the numbers before market opens. Let's see where it lands. I assume it had a big drop today, so the market is a bit scared of what they can face tomorrow. But potential opportunity for sure. Let's move on to PRTS. Carparts.com, we've gone through them also on a different stream. I like them a lot here at these levels. I also like the chart a lot right now. They are trading below book value, and look, they are generating operating and free cash flow. They have 50 million in total debt, but also they have 40 million in cash here, so they should be fine. I'm not too worried about the debt here. They've cut. They haven't had a history of paying a dividend. What worries me is this, though. If you look historically at the earnings, it's not very good, right? And this grew after the pandemic in terms of revenue and stuff like that, but it has also diluted shareholders quite a bit since then. And book value went up to 213 and then a little bit down since then. But the biggest part why I brought them into the stream today is that I like the chart, and it had a 9%, it was in daily movers today, it had a 9% bounce up. What I do like though, and earnings is coming, earnings are gonna come up for almost all the companies right now, right? And this is in the end of July, so it's getting close there. But what I kind of like a little bit with this is that you have this, look at it, it looks ugly, right? It's clearly in a downtrend for a long time too. But then it starts to trade sideways a bit, and I kind of like that. And then you see the RSI has been oversold all this time, and now it has turned around a little bit and get this momentum up a little bit, which I like. So I'm actually very I'm a bit intrigued to see where car parts are going to move. I really like the chart where this trades right now. And I think even if you see it cross the line here, which was in end of May, but the share price is almost the same, so I don't think you missed out here, you know. The only thing that worries me a bit is this earnings coming up very soon. And I'm not sure if they're gonna kill it or miss, you know, so I don't want to get burnt on that. But maybe there's a strategy here to jump in ahead of earnings, and the thinking is that it will go up a little bit before. You can get a few percentage gain there and then sell out again. But that's more like a swing trading thing, and I don't think I would. I haven't looked too much into it, to be honest, but that earnings report coming up so fast scares me a bit. But of course it might be a mistake to not jump in ahead of it if they kill it on that one. But we can look at Seeking Alpha and see what people are writing. And keep in mind, 9% up today. This is also in the tracker, I think. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was. I will add it then. I will add it later, but we can continue to do. And there's some articles here. We have been looking at this in the past. They are a bit negative. I see a lot of comments that the website is it's pretty messy and bad. I haven't. I think I tried to. That's a bit weird. But I think if I remember correctly, like I wasn't allowed into their website last time I checked either because of my location. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the website. Anyways, we can read a little bit on the comments and the articles here. Website is not the best. People want car parts immediately. eBay might get more traction on car parts. I bought a lot of parts online and they are never the cheapest or the fastest, which is like, that's not exactly good, is it? They obviously don't get the working capital benefits at a set or Orly have, which makes the business have such high return on invested capital. Most car parts are not available immediately for them too. Their website could definitely be better, and so could the prices. So there's a few things that are fundamentally like important here that seems to have some potential for improvement. And this guy is saying like I'm going to continue to stay out of PRTS. I don't think I nor their management understand their business enough. But I like the chart. And there are other things too. It trades at 120. Not bad numbers, you know. They have pretty good control of the depth here. I'm glad they're not paying dividend. This worries me, but that's what they are talking about. Like the management seems also not to understand business enough. Margins are pretty, like, you know, a little bit down. Otherwise, well, they are down. We saw cost is a little bit up, but below book value. And I think you see there has been some insider buys here lately. It's meaningful, but it's not the biggest, but it is meaningful. These are from directors, and also a little bit here from the COO. He bought a 4 though, so these have bought below the price now. This was in May and June. So that could tell you that they at least they know what their company is worth, because they've gotten in on a good level here. It seems like 52-week low was 96 cents, so they got a little bit above that. So not a bad investment probably. They have a history of having around the same amount of cash that they do have now, so I'm not sure how meaningful that is that they have it now, but at least they can. I'm not worried, like I've said 100 times now, about the depth. We can still check it though. $27, they have a revolver that's maturing. That seemed to be it. So yeah, it doesn't worry me, the deck. I will add it to the tracker for sure. But it's not for a long-term hold, I think. Potentially though, it depends a little bit on the earnings report that comes now, because that can send the price up, but I didn't see much about that on Seeking, right? What was the last one? Tough trying to time bottom. CEO recent comments were pretty impressive. Board member just bought some shares too. Balance sheet not bad. Could be nice upside if it works out. Fun lotto ticket, okay? And Bazooka, we have seen him comment a little bit on other tickers that we have looked at, right? And once again, if you zoom out, it looks ugly, right? The chart, but then look at this. It's pretty flat since then, which I kind of like the more. And then you have to look at it in addition with this RSI turning upwards pretty aggressively too. So I wish I could see like an increase in volume as well. But yeah, definitely interesting based on the chart alone here. I'm gonna add them to the tracker. Not for necessarily a longer term, but I just like the potential entry point here. But what scares me is the coming earnings report a little bit, at least. I'll see what I'll do. Maybe I see tomorrow. It's up today 9%, so that's a bit annoying because we have looked at them in the past. Let me check that a bit closer. I think I would put like somewhere in between. I like this. I'll put high on a short-term horizon. Sorry for that. I'm once again, I'm just typing in what I saw. Like chart has been trading sideways for a bit, and some of the indicators are now signaling like maybe a buy is justified here. But I do want it a little bit lower, but I'm not. I might be a bit late for that. I said the fundamentals are not the best, but they are generating positive free and operating cash flow, which is good to see. They have control of the debt, but they are just posted that I just wrote down that they have a revolver that matures in 27. And that there's been some small insider purchases, which is good, but I'm not sure how meaningful it is, other than that they have seemed to time the entry very well. And then I wrote that the earnings report is coming up, and if they can deliver up that, then I should pay attention to the price up until the earnings report. I might, if I take a position here, it's going to happen quickly, I think. We're just going to save it there to have it in tracker. I think. We're just going to save it there to have it in tracker. Smaller side of a company though in terms of market cap. %24% inside ownership also. That's good. I didn't note that down, but that's good, you know. So okay, let's move on to LESL, which is also a company I found earlier this week and that I kind of like the chart of. We can go through it now, which is also it trades at 286, 528 million market cap, 15% towards the 52-week low here, so it's already trading pretty low. Only a 4% inside ownership, but there has been in the last 12 months 500,000 of a purchase, and I guess that's these two from some guy and the CEO. So there has been some, you know, but that's almost a year ago, like exactly. And they bought around $7, and now it's worth almost $3. So they are down heavily on that one. So negative book value. So these are like direct to consumer pool and spa care brand in the United States. The company markets, sells pool and spa supplies and related products and services. They offer pools chemicals consisting of chlorine, sanitizer, water balancers, specialty chemicals, and algae control. Yeah, so they do stuff for pools and also for spa departments and stuff like that. It's a little bit down today, but I do like the chart here. And once again, it looks ugly when you zoom out. It's clearly in a downtrend, but then it has these runs up, you know, and if you can catch one of these, it's a pretty good gain. You see here another one, yeah, in also a little bit of a short time, you know. And what I did pay attention to here is like RSI barely touched like below here, so it barely got a little bit oversold down here. You can see also earnings report coming up here, and it went down on this day to 243 approximately there, 242. So that's the 52-week low that we were referring to earlier. And it hasn't recovered too much since then, but a little bit up. And then the RSI had turned around a little bit, which is what caught my eye initially on these, like purely on the chart. But I remember when I had another look now, I'm a little bit scared because there's some indicators I want to like. I would prefer the RSI to turn around a little bit more, and then also see that the volume takes consistently goes up a little bit more heavy, you know. You didn't see that here when it had this run up from 465 to almost 8.5. You saw the volume was pretty consistent, or even we're going down a little bit, but So you might not get that here. But it's something that I'm paying attention to and gonna keep tracking, you know. When it comes to the fundamentals, negative book value, they don't have cash. That's a bit worrisome, you know. They have a lot of debt, so what is going on there? You see the high short interest, 16%, but maybe some of these debt are leases as well. The 200 million long-term debt is heavy though. Somewhat, you know, 8.19 interest rate on the term loan, which is a big one. So the term loan is due in 28, so they have time on that though, but for a longer term hold, this worries me because they are not generating too much cash. And they don't even have a lot of cash here. And they are slowly, like here, they bought back a few shares, you know, but since then they have slowly, maybe it's like share compensation or something, but it's whatever it is, it's a little bit up every year since then, you know. So I don't necessarily like to see that. The 16% short interest, which is, I can see why actually in this company. And it has a long way still to fall because the market cap is still pretty big, 500 million. So I'm not loving this company based on the fundamentals, which is a bit worrisome. I like the chart, but I don't like the fundamentals here. They've improved some on the margins, like the cash flows and stuff like that, but you see revenue is down. They've gotten the cost down a little bit, but what are people writing about them? Yeah, tough path to profitability. Headlines are like what we saw just in the sheet, right? So they think they can get rid of some of the inventory and get some cash for the full year of 24. Then of course what remains to see is if they can deliver on this guidance. What else did people say here? There's not a lot of comments. Yeah, this guy is bringing up like, and it's down heavily since this article also. So he has been right here, and then the question is like, where will it stop and where will it be attractive again? Go check Twitter for this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the fundamentals are very attractive here. I think there's a good reason for the short interest. But it has fallen a lot in a short time, and I do like the chart. I do like the setup of the chart right now. But I kind of want to drag my feet a little bit on these ones. I'm gonna, every time I press this button, it adds them to a sheet that I call history, so I can see that I've done research on them. But I'm not gonna add these to my tracker sheet. But my point was, if I see them come up again in the daily movers or something like that, I'm gonna remember. And I also have some documents that I've written notes in for stuff that doesn't qualify for the tracker, just to not forget it. And I think LESL will be one of those situations where I will just keep a mental note and move on. I do like the chart though, but I have to wait a little bit before I think it's attractive enough. And based on the fundamentals, I'm not too confident in them. But for a quick gain, maybe our entry price around 250 to where it is right now, you could make a little bit of money. But of course, do your own due diligence and research and all that. This is never you're never gonna get any investment advice in this channel. I'm just thinking out loud here and trying to explain how I think about the situation. But I also look at other tickers and find them more attractive than LESL right now. But if this develops and I get more things to read off the chart, for example, it does start to look a little bit interesting. More interesting, I should say. But okay, let's move on to ALOT. I've done them on the stream before. I like them. They are in my tracker sheet. They trade at 15, the book value is 12, tangible book value is almost 8, 218 in operating cash flow and 2 in free cash flow. So that's not bad here. They show up as safe because they have very little debt. They also don't have too much cash right now. You see they have diluted a little bit, and revenue is pretty stagnant here for the last 2 years. And they are a little bit off the 20% to 52-week low here. They went down a little bit today. But also, again, the reason I pulled them in is that I like the fundamentals here. That's why they are in the tracker, and I also like the chart. And if you look at the chart here, you can see it has fallen here down to 13. And look at the RSI, it touched here to be oversold, and then it bounced back again, a little bit at least, but then a little bit up and down here lately. And I think maybe I told Dane about this a while ago now. It's like more than a week, I think, and I paid attention. When did I add them? Yeah, end of June I added them in the tracker sheet, and I've kind of paid a little bit attention since, because I like the chart setup, but a little bit like LESL, I want to wait a little bit to see if the chart can signal a little bit more clear of a buy here. When did I add it? 2027. That was the day after. You know, that was this week with a big drop here. So that it was in the daily movers, I assume, and then it did actually bounce from 13, it went up to 16 again. So, you know, that's the kind of bounce we look for in this, a little bit of a new strategy with the swing trades and stuff like that. So maybe I missed out on this one, but I kind of like the daily chart here. Things looks good on it, for it. And right now it's trading at the point where you can argue that taking a position wouldn't be bad. But I think I'm a bit late here. I would prefer it the day I looked at it. It already hold on. It already had a bounce up since then. I guess that happened in the same day or the day after, and I looked at it after market close probably, and then it went up that day. Because I wrote like 13 would be the good entry, and that's what I kind of want here looking at the chart again now, and especially when you know it recently reached 13. It's a bit annoying then to buy the way up, even if the chart looks good still. Look at the earnings also. What stands out with this versus LESL, for example, is that here you have a fundamental basis also to use, I think. It seems to me like it's a well-driven company. Not that earnings plays a big part of that, but look at all these years. It's like 10 years or whatever it is. Positive earnings all the time. Then you can argue it hasn't grown that much, you know, the earnings and stuff like that. But if you look at the revenue, it has grown. Cash generation since the pandemic is, you know, up and down, has some decent years here and there. So that's maybe an argument you can use against this company. But if you look at the book value, it has had some nice little growth, at least in these years. And it has control of debt, never had a lot of debt, but and they had an asset sale here that I'm not going to check into that now, but I wonder what they did. It seems like maybe they have paid off 10 million in debt in that same period. So maybe they spent the money on that. Maybe it was for, I would need to check into that. You know, 853 in retained earnings. And retained earnings has, you know, grown over time also. So there are things I like about this company, which is why it's in the tracker. And then of course the chart caught my eye now, so I just wanted to pull it up again on the stream. But I think I will just continue to watch it and see where it goes instead of jumping in just to learn, because I should have pulled the trigger when I first looked at it. That's when we should have gone in here. So yeah, I think I will just move on to NUS. NUS is also, I think, in the tracker, right? Yeah, NUS is in the tracker. They are trading around tangible book value, but below book value. They have 200 million in cash, a little bit of debt, and full control of the near-term debt. So they should be fine. They are paying a dividend. This year has been terrible for them in terms of earnings. They had an asset sale, which has, I'm not sure what they've done with that money. Which is something you should probably look into if you. I can't remember if I wrote something about that last time. But good cash generation, operating cash flow is $3. Free cash flow 170, and it shows up as safe here. Revenue is a little bit down. Share count, they are slowly buying back shares, it seems like. And I do like the chart again. There's a lot of talk about the chart today, but it plays a little bit big role in the strategy now. Heavy downtrend. Look at this. Looks terrible, right? If you zoom out, and it's still in that downtrend, and it hasn't found a floor. Look, it's been a while since it traded this cheap. 52-week low is 974, and that was like. Here, pretty recent. And our earnings report coming up. But once again, RSI has touched the line here a few times for being oversold, and now you can see the momentum maybe is increasing a bit and moving up, back upwards, which is good to see on the chart. And like I said, the fundamentals are pretty good in terms of free cash flow and operating cash flow here. I would have to check the depth. What I've seen though, and what I remember from adding them in tracker, is that the business model is like, this is a skincare company. And their business model is a bit like a MLM style, which I'm not a fan of that. So that's like a question mark I have. Is it a cash position? The revolver expires in 2027. When is this other debt due? Five-year term. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I'm not excited about how their business actually works, and I guess that's a big point that you shouldn't ignore. But at the same time, I kind of like a lot of the things I see here on the fundamentals, and if you connect that with how they are trading right now with the chart and everything, it looks a bit attractive. I think it does. I think NUS can have a bounce up in the near future here. Their earnings report is 8th of August. When I talk about them though, I'm not talking about a longer term hold. More like playing on a short term bounce. Happy to see the MLM industry is dying. Yeah, so that's what I say, you know, like I don't really like. I remember I read something about. It was a bit vague. The transcript, because there was some guidance, right? And we are maintaining our 2024 outlook, which is good, I guess. And this is on the last earnings call. Here is for the future. Shifting focus now to guidance in light of the continued economic pressures challenges associated with our transforming our business and increased volatility in foreign exchange rates, we are reiterating 2024 revenue in the 173 billion to 187 billion range. We anticipate earnings per share of 77 cents to 116, or adjusted earnings of 95 cents to 135. Our guidance now assumes an increased foreign currency headwind of approximately 2 to 3%. This is a question looking specifically at the implied year-over-year currency growth, kind of based on midpoint of the 2Q and the 2024 guidance. It seems to suggest that you guys are going to go from down 9 and a quarter in the first half to about -3 in the second half. And if I look at the sales leaders, the customers counts and affiliate numbers, even when adjusting for that change in qualification for affiliates, the trend looks like it's worsening. So the question is, what's really giving you confidence in that second half improvement? And maybe can you just dimensionalize any of the initiatives that you expect to contribute to that improvement? Great question, blah blah blah. We have, as we came out on top of leader sales alignment event in Q2, really got clarity around channel activation plans and incentives built towards the channel, which is exactly what you're highlighting. Concerns around those KPIs leading into Q3 when we have our live events. Energy around India and open markets. So they are talking strong about that they are keeping their guidance, which is good to see, but I just don't like, I'm not a fan of this kind of business, which is bothering me a little bit here. But I do like the fundamentals, I do like the chart, and I think this can have a quicker bounce off up in the nearest future. That's what I think, looking at all of this. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one, and maybe even you know, if I see something, I might move quick into this. I've been keeping an eye on the price action for a few weeks on NUS actually, and some of the indicators that I like to see on the chart has now is kind of signaling a buy, you know. That doesn't mean that I'm going to buy or that anyone should buy, but and what's holding me back the most is like the business model and that whole industry. Oh, hey, Value, late to the party. All good. All good, Value. Nice to see you though. I saw Dane's stream, and now I don't remember the name of the other guy that was in the chat with you, but I really liked the conversations you guys had on the last stream. It was great, I thought. And I saw Dane wanted to travel to New Zealand. How's the week going, Value? Have you found something? I saw some of the tickers. I think they look good. I haven't checked them today, but I've gone through some here, like you are. Yes. I don't know how long we have done the stream for, but I only have like PBF left here, but I can go for a little bit more. Oh, and by the way, I don't know, guys, if you read the description, but I've been playing chess lately, and I have now reached 1000 ELO, which I found out has been a goal of mine for some weeks now, and I found out later, after I reached 1000, I found out later that 1200, then you are considered like a proper amateur in chess. So well below. I'm well below a proper amateur right now. So, but if you guys are interested in chess, go into chess.com and find me. My name is Redneck Johnny. We can play some chess. I'm really getting into chess now lately. Down on my LLAP, up on NUTX, and I see you got CTRN on your list. I was looking at that last week. Yeah, I added CTRN in the tracker. Just to sum it up, Value, what I wrote, because I like also the chart there. This is what I wrote. Fundamentals last year is not too attractive, but they have been decent in the past. There's a potential turnaround story here where the interim CEO has bought shares in July alone for almost $10 million, and Fund 1 Investment has bought up 30% of the company, which they are allowed to without triggering a poison pill. Not worried about the debt. Most of it are leases. Margin has decreased over the last couple of years, so they need to fix this issue. Chart is looking good, but also tells that it can potentially drop a little bit more. Pay attention to price action and new developments on the story, new CEO, etc. Also check for new insider purchases. So that's just some notes that I took in the beginning of the stream, Value. Now, I'm not sure if you see the same stuff that I do there, but I think Dane is also, I can't remember, I think he's in CTRN, but I'm not sure if he's sold out or something. I'm sure he can tell you on the weekend, but I know he's been, looking at them as well. I'm only 800 rank or so, we look you up. Yeah, do that, the Value. I will. I was like 700-800 for quite some time. By the way, when I'm saying I'm 1026 or something now, that's on the 10-minute games, not the quick ones, but 10-minute games. I was 800, 700 for quite some time, but then you remember last time I was streaming, I was a bit sick, so when I didn't stream, I was in the bed, so I was like, now I'm gonna play some chess here and finally get my 1000 ranking. So yeah, Value, look me up if you're using chess.com. I really love it though. I find it like really interesting, and I've been watching some YouTube videos and how to have the strategies, what's important. I know a couple of openings well so far, but I'm not strong on openings and all the theoretical stuff. I just know like what to look for. And I tend to blunder my pieces a little bit, so I try to find ways to improve on that aspect. Yeah, Value, we can play some chess. But I think NUS looks good on a lot of things, but I struggle with the business model, but that doesn't mean that I can't take a position in it. So this is already in the tracker, so I'm gonna keep my eye on them. Next is PBF. And PBF is a ticker that Dane and I looked at on the weekend. And we both like the company, but it has been in a little bit of a downtrend lately, which is a bit concerning if you're a long-term holder. What I'm waiting for though is a little bit of a bigger drop in one of these days. So it breaks down like below the 52-week lows maybe, because I think there's an opportunity here if you can get it as cheap as that. You know, it's a great company here. If you look at the numbers, look at the growth, look at how steady it's like going up. The debt is steadily going down. They have paid a dividend all this time. It's a big market cap as well, almost 5 billion. I saw now that the last couple of years, it has improved the margins, has fell off a little bit since 23 though. So that's of course very worrisome. And some of the operating expenses drastically up actually. But it's trading below book value, and like I said, the chart, if you look at the chart, it's in a clear downtrend, but I want this, and my apologies to any already owners, but I want this to fall more, so I can get a better entry position. Because you see here, the RSI also is in a clear downtrend here, and I want it like to break down and be oversold, maybe before I take an entry position here. And I've been paying attention to this chart, and it seems to, I think that was the conclusion we had on the weekend as well. Like we both thought that this could drop even further, and that's kind of what I hope for. Look at this inside buys, crazy high amount, right? And was this we never figured out who they were, but it's a 10% owner, and they bought like recently, you know, this is in June, all of the purchases, and they've been buying a lot. But there are a few things that is concerning about the business right now, so it's not all like good, you know, which is why it's falling. Yeah, I remember. We're not going to go through the articles now. Just, you know, we're trying to be as transparent as we can on this channel, and I'm just letting you guys know which ones I do pay a close attention to right now. PBF is one of them. They are on my list for if something happens like a big drop there, I'm definitely interested to get in. But you might not get it. That's why I track things, so you can closely just keep an eye on it. I think PBF has been a long time in my tracker, since 20 of May 23. And it's only up since then 3%, so hasn't moved a lot well, it has moved a lot in those in that time, but where it is now till from that period, it's around the same price, you know. So PBF is definitely a ticker that I'm paying close attention to, together with you know, SPWH, Farm. What do you think about Farm now, Valley? Have you looked more into them if you're still here? I saw Farm. We started the stream with checking Farm. They're a bit down today again, and SPWH is opposite. It's way up today too. So 3% down on Farm. SPWH looks good, right? I regret I didn't buy it on my own on my own research when I did it on stream. I haven't looked into Farm lately. No. It's down 3% today. If we just check the chart, it's in a slight downtrend here, right? But then this is where we talked about it last time and started to pay attention to it. If you got in around here, 240, that's a pretty quick gain, to be honest. And you can see like some of the things, you know, are looking good on the chart there, and now it keeps dropping again. So maybe it may, you know, maybe I missed out a little bit on SPWH, but Farm is Farm is a company that I might get the opportunity back, even though I'm a little bit late there too. Because I wanted to drop towards 250 again. But anyway, we covered Farm in depth last time, I think, so nothing new there. Did you see, are you involved in Mastercraft value? Mastercraft fell yesterday pretty big with 5%, and then today was up 8% again. So I'm happy. I'm happy with my position there so far. Has worked out pretty quick. But yeah, I don't have any more tickers today. You know, the strategy has moved a little bit more into technical analysis and maybe a bit shorter time horizon. But I'm not sure about it for my style yet. In terms of the companies that I'm in, ALTO and Mastercraft, I'm planning to hold them for a while actually, or it depends on what the price says, you know. No, not in Mastercraft. Okay. But yeah, I'm screening more with charts now, and that doesn't mean that I don't pay attention to the daily movers or stuff. I check them every day, the daily movers. But what I can do is like to sort the sheet after 20% to 52 week low, and I can just, you know, hold on, highlight these and then copy them into a text document, and then I can upload that document into TradingView, and it gives me the chart of all of them. So sometimes now I just do that instead of looking too much on the, you know, the metrics here, because if I don't like the chart, I'm not so interested anyways, you know. So I can spend time and pull up based on the metrics here, and then I spend all that time and it comes into my fundamental sheet, and then I see, oh, the chart doesn't look good enough for me right now, so I'm not interested anyways. But I have been thinking about that though, because a lot of the times when I add stuff to the tracker, they tend to look a little bit too risky right now, or too small right now, or too expensive right now, things like that, which is the whole point of having a tracker sheet, you know. So I'm still going to use the same method and sort it and look by the metrics, and then add it to see if stuff happens that I want to happen with them, you know. So I'm not only just basing it, if the chart doesn't look good right now, I'm never going to be interested. Like PBF, the chart is not there yet for me right now, but I can see that it potentially could drop to a point where it's interesting. So I'm going to keep doing what I've done now, just adding this to the process. But I like it. I like to sort it through the charts. It's very quick. I can go through a lot of charts in no time almost. And I also built like another sheet that just gives me the tickers of the last 10 days. I think I have it, my filter from Open Insider. So this is like the last tickers where there has been an insider purchase for the last 10 days, and I can do the same there. I can like highlight all the tickers, paste them into a text document, and pull up the charts in TradingView. So that's something I've added to the screening method recently. Value Hunter, wow, just saw the ASTS move today. Oh yeah, I saw them in the daily movers. I was in that around 5 and sold out around 10. What was the price though? I saw them here in the... Oh no, sorry, I thought you meant ATUS. Where's the ASTS? Oh, so we have done them. 25% up. And you said you sold... I was in that around 5 and sold out. Congratulations on that though. That's pretty good though. I can understand that it pains you a bit when it's now trading at 16. Always goes up when I sell, yeah. It's like that, right? But good, 100% though value. That's pretty good. So was this recent? And I've also adjusted my Open Insider information, so I have allowed more data to come in, because for some reason it wasn't on purpose, but I had the settings wrong. So I open up the settings a bit, so I get more insider purchases visible now in my sheets, which I like. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on my screening method, and that I've been adding them. And what annoys me a little bit with the whole thing though is that I get still a lot of these healthcare companies, and I just see on the chart, it's like it's even more apparent with the charts, you know, because either they have a very short history, or there's like bounces all around the place, and I'm leaning more and more towards filtering them out again. So I might have to do that. But let's see how it goes. I saw Rod was texting something about Rod Altsman involved in GameStop saga. GTX. Let's just check GTX, because I was a bit curious. I didn't see them. I looked at the chart. It didn't catch my eye, but I'm not sure what he saw there. I don't know GTX from before. Another auto parts. Down 11.5%. Design Manufacturing sells turbochargers and electric boosting technology for light and commercial vehicle or original equipment manufacturers worldwide. The company offers light vehicle gasoline and diesel and commercial vehicle turbochargers and provides automotive software solutions. It offers its production in the aftermarket through distributors. Well, they are based in Switzerland. Oh, look at my numbers. I should have seen that straight away. Look at the share count. Like, there's no way I can trust these numbers. So is this even the right? I'm not sure if this is what Rod was talking about. When I have my numbers all messed up here, I have no idea how I can fix it. So this is worthless. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with that then. Well, I don't have any more takers. So if you guys don't have anything that you will want me to go through today here at the end, I think I've gone through what I have today. So I will end it there, I think, and Dane and I, we will see you again on the weekend. If you didn't watch Dane's stream on Tuesday, go and check it out on the channel. I kind of liked that stream. There was a lot of good questions and conversation there, which I think people can find valuable. So yeah, we will see you on the weekend then together. I'm not sure. I can never remember what Dane said to me. I think he said. No, I'm not sure. We will let you guys know on X which day it will be and what time it will be. So we will update there. I can send out the X message tomorrow when I know a little bit more, because I can't remember now what he said to me. Yeah, but that's it. I don't see anyone throwing any tickets here on at the end here. So I think we went through a lot today, and I think I added like I added CTRN, I added PRTS, and a lot of the tickets from today was in my tracker sheet already. So, but I managed to add 2, which I'm happy about. You don't always see that on the stream, so that's good. I will keep you guys updated on when I have a cash position now, so when I decide to move into something, or maybe I even spread it out across multiple tickers. But right now NUS is interesting to me. PRTS, EAF, PBF, Farm, AMRK. I'm watching AMRK, and you know I'm waiting on that ALTO report. Saying that though, I started the stream by reading a comment about Justin where he took down some of the expectations. So I'm not sure if you should be too excited about the actual report, but maybe we get some good, concrete, solid knowledge about asset sales or the deal with Volt. So even if the report maybe is a bit boring, or that they miss us, whatever they do, maybe we get some good news on those things, and that can be enough. That can be enough for me to continue to stick with them, and like Justin said, look forward to the Q3 report, because that's the thesis that has been all the time. They should deliver some good results soon. All right then. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. I saw we had some new people here in the chat. I've seen we had some people watching all the time. So thanks for everyone who wants to spend time with us. I hope it's a little bit educational, and that it's valuable for everyone who's watching. So we really appreciate that you tune in, and and spend time with us, because you know, it can get a bit lonely and boring doing this on your own. So I like to have a conversation and check things out together with you guys. So yeah, Dan and I will see you again on the weekend. Pay attention to our X account for times and stuff like that. And we will see you then. Thanks again, and bye bye.